So let's get started. Here you go. The three things. First, top 31 business and life lessons. So starting from इतना लंबा list देख रहे हो? Okay, now tighten your seat belt. The first thing is this is the life lesson that one of my best friend while I was doing MBA, he taught me these lessons. Sagar, treat others as you wanted to be treated. Like completely changed the like my mindset. But this is very not easy stuff. But yes, this is a good lesson to learn. I learned it maybe 10 years back. Okay. Second is do not take failures to your heart and success to your head. I learned from maybe many of you are part of Success Gyan Funnel, you know, who taught this. Something that I learned from Suren, that he talks about this. Sometimes we get success and we take into our head. Okay. So do not take failures to your heart and success to your head. And one thing everyone you should learn that whether it is a failure, whether it is a success, nothing is permanent. It is like the seasons, like winter aaya, winter chala gaya, summer aayega, summer chala jayega. Similarly, if you feel that you are getting so many failures in your life, it is not permanent. uh, Nilesh talks about these things like your victory is near. So that's why don't take failure to your heart and success to your head. Third thing is when you do more than you are paid for, eventually you will get paid for more than you do. This is what I live every single day. How many of you believe that? So when you do more than what you paid for, sometimes we feel यार अभी तो यार मैं इतना एफर्ट दे रहा हूँ, मुझे सिर्फ इतना ही पैसा मिल रहा है, इतना ही कमा पा रहा हूँ. But you don't know, if you keep doing it, time will come. You can't imagine that you will overpaid for a small work. How many of you have seen this thing? Yes. So that's what matter most. Fourth is take care of a visible God on earth, that is parents. I realized very, very late, but yeah, it is good. I realized it in the year 2019. That's where I actually, my mind got shifted towards entrepreneurship rather than just focusing on doing business, so doing the job. Fifth lesson I learned something like gratitude for everything that you have. Sometimes we keep crying of what we don't have, but sometimes we should be feel blessed and grateful for what we have right now. That is a dream for a lot of people, isn't it? Yes, that's the thing. Sixth is this is something I learned from my one of my founder of my MBA college. He taught me this, that problems are opportunities. And recently, something I learned that every bad news has a good news in it. Type yes in the chat box if you have come across such stuff. Okay. Recently, again, I heard this from MS Dhoni, that he said like, okay, if we don't have problems, then what exactly that we will wake up for every single morning? That is another aha moment. Wow, that's Balwan, right? So problems are opportunities, and every bad news has a good news in it. So it is an extension of this. Then I learned it from Siddharth. I don't know who taught him, but he talks a lot about it. Focus is your biggest asset. It is not that easy to do it, but I'm still in the process of focusing on what matter most. But I believe I have implemented a lot of areas, specifically when it comes to serving community. I'm very much focused towards, you can say, serving and focusing on one single product and make it better along the time. Currently, we're doing 30-day challenge for 13th batch. So what happens in the market is they keep creating new courses, new things. But I think what matter most is if you can make that one product solid, working again and again. That's what matter most. And another aspect of focus is like, let's suppose I'm focusing currently now optimizing my Facebook ads. So that is my focus right now. Okay. Then another big lesson that I learned from one book, so that's from Jim Rohn itself. Jim Rohn, to have more than what you got, become more than you are. So you have to become the person to deserve that what you are looking for. Sometimes we ask, okay, we need more money, we need more money. But sometimes we need to ask, are we really capable of and making us skillful enough to deserve that money? It is not just about having that knowledge. Maybe uh, having the knowledge you need to put out into in marketing message. So all of things matters most. So yeah, that is the 8 lessons. So how many of you are getting bulb ons up until now? Yes, amazing. Thank you so much. Ninth is you attract who you are. Like many of you know that your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So you would attract who you are. Uh, Next thing is value creation in multiple levels. So a lot of people focus on value creation in content. I talked about ABC in my community. So content, but what after content? You need to create a value where people interact with you, whether it can be a webinar or one-to-one calls, where you can continuously meet your target prospective customer, right? So if you're just focusing on creating content, it will not help you. So then I realized, what is the gap area people are focusing on? People are just focusing on, okay, create content, you'll make money. That is not the game. I've seen people are not creating content, still making 10 lakh a month. So then I realized, what is the main agenda over here? You need to create a value in specific to like to coaching industry is a 3 level. First level is content creation. Second level is your interaction with your audience, and the third level is value creation in your paid community. So why I'm like waking up every single morning at 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. What I'm doing, that is value creation for TBM family. That is the creating a value for multiple levels, not just focusing on sales or the place where I get sales, but but the place where I need to focus on where my audience, where my students or my clients get results. So is it making sense? The 10th one, type MS in the chat box if it is making sense to you. Great. Thank you. 11th is, yes, like many of you heard from so many places, like your environment is stronger than your willpower. Sometimes your willpower, your skill, everything will not work if your environment is not good. That's why what I've always tried to do in throughout my journey is how I can create environment for myself. Okay, so I always try to be a community who is more encouraging and helpful, so that can uplift my energy. Okay, and similar thing I wanted to give it to my community also. Every time I feel, okay, how I can give a safe space for my community. So that is the thing that I have learned and implemented throughout the journey. It helped me to grow. It helped also our community to grow. And like all, you must have heard about this, like you are the average of 5 people you spend most of the time with. So also another code, maybe you say like, show me your 5 friends that you spend time, I will tell you your character, something like this. Okay, so these are all the related to this thing. So choose your environment very carefully. Not necessarily every time you need to get environment in the physical space, but in online space, because most of us in online marketing world, we spend a lot of time in online space. So you need to see like which mastermind that you are part of, which community that you are part of. Are you getting positive vibe or negative vibe? What kind of vibe that you are getting? So this is very, very important in our journey. 12th is, this is the book that it is Secrets of Closing the Sale by Zig Ziglar. इस बुक में मैंने कुछ नहीं पढ़ा. I was just started reading, and in the first page, in the last line, I saw this line. Like, you will get all you want in your life if you help enough other people get what they want. Zig Ziglar. I said, wow, what a line this is. It's something I heard. I read this book back in 2020, And you can imagine, I never opened a single time till that. मतलब हो गया इस बुक का पैसा मैंने उठा लिया, आई नो द सीक्रेट कोड, हो गया। लिटिल इसके बाद पढ़ाई नहीं है, इसके बाद समरी कुछ देखा था, बट आई नेवर रेड दिस बुक। समटाइम्स आई डोंट लिटरली ऑनेस्टली आई डोंट रीड ऑल द बुक्स। इफ आई फाउंड वन सीक्रेट कोड, हो गया। one another secret code that I found, the consistency, right? I'll talk about it in upcoming things. Next thing is, remember that failure is an event, not a person. So if you think that you are a failure, so you are not actually failure. It is an event that you are doing. Okay, how many have heard that bulb on? This is the fun. I learned this. Wow, why I'm just keep beating myself. I'm a failure. I'm failure. I'm failure. It is just an event. We have to just um, learn from it and go for the next step. Okay. 14th is processed focused. Like this is life lessons. I've been listening this since childhood, thanks to my father, who actually given me Bhagavad Gita at the age of, I think, 8 or 9, where I started reading Bhagavad Gita. So then where the best lesson that I learned from Bhagavad Gita is perform your duty, but not to have an expectation of results. So what happened? Definitely we have expectation of results, but if you keep focusing on results more time, what happens is your quality of input, the process that you need to focus, will be decreased. How many of you have a uh, like is it making sense to you? Yes. So perform your duty, what you write, what is your process, what you need to be done. Let's suppose you want to make money, but you want to make money, you need to create content, you need to do webinars, you need to do sales calls, you need to follow up. All these things are the processes. So we need to focus how we can improvise this process. If I'm not getting sales in my webinar, then I'll think about, okay, where I can tweak it, what the message I tweak. So I'll be obsessed with improving my process rather than just focusing on sale क्यों नहीं sale क्यों नहीं got it? That is what happens. 15 is, you can't connect the dots looking forward. This is something Steve Jobs, sometimes I keep complaining that okay, mm, I didn't had that, this that, and 2013 there is a, like it kind of like when I performed whole educational like college, like sorry, college school at 80% plus, and suddenly in 2013 when graduations, I spent a lot of time playing cricket. And at one time I was almost failed in graduation, like it was just pass nahi, matlab 61% or 60% of something, just first division. So घर पे बहुत सुनाई दिया, okay, बहुत सुनाया. So then बोले कि we are thinking to become a lecturer, all this thing, to become a physics graduate, then you will learn, you will do PhD. We are thinking so many for you, and you are not learning anything. And suddenly what happens is I did MBA, and because there's no other way to do the PhD and all, so वो गया MSc गया, तो वो सब खत्म। वो जो गोल था ना, बिकम अ टीचर इन फिजिक्स, वो चला गया। बट अल्टीमेटली आई एम टीचर नाउ। सो यू कांट कनेक्ट द डॉट लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड। ओके, सो अगर बनना हाँ तो टीचर है, तो मे बी मुझे डिजिटल टीचर बनना था, फिजिकल टीचर नहीं। दैट इज व्हाट आई एम गुड एट। So that's why, like, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You have to always see like what happened that is coming to this today's. Awesome. uh, cool. राहत, सो 61 फॉर्म इज फेलियर, मुझे पता है कि मैंने कुछ वहां पे कुछ लिखा ही नहीं था उस पेपर में, बस कैसे हो गया। Okay, then another thing is I really fear of selling something. Okay, uh, like बहुत time तक ये हुआ, and then suddenly I learned this concept 2 years before, that selling is not to them, it is for them. It is for their growth, my audience growth. So if I'm following someone, I should not feel ashamed of asking money, because I'm not doing any cheap stuff. I know that I can help these people. That is us. So selling is always think like this mindset, that this is something I also teach in my sales mindset coaching. Yeah, selling is not to them, it is for them. It is for their growth. Okay. 17 this is the another lessons that I learned from Expert Secret and Russell Brunson, that one line again from another Expert Secret book changed complete game for me. Publish every day for at least 1 year, you will never be worried about money again. Russell Brunson. उसके बाद तो मैंने मुझे करना ही है, I have to do it. And that's why that consistency beats talent. अगर लगता है कि आपके पास talent नहीं है, do it consistently, you will see like all the talented people will fall. Okay. So, but the thing is consistency will work for you. 18th is endure questions. I'll take questions later, but let me just finish the whole game. We'll talk about later. 18th is endure long enough to get noticed. For first 100 days, one person says, I have not uh, engaged any of your content. जब मैंने Facebook live किया, so 100 days के बाद somebody approached me and says, Sagar, I want to buy your course. I'm like, why? I have seen all of your Facebook live. I never engaged, but I wanted to buy from you because I see the commitment without um, looking at viewers, followers, all these things. You keep doing it. I want to work with you. So that's why like people notice, but they take some time. So you need to be patient enough to do it a long period of time. Many coaches started with me back in 2020, 2021, but they are not in the market right now. Why? Because they have not that patience. Maybe some personal reason, that's perfectly fine. But this is something the learning from I learned it from Russell Brunson, but he talks that it is if somebody the ConvertKit, the email marketing software founder, he told this. So that is the big thing. Yeah. Publish means, yeah, show up. Yeah. Next thing is, okay, invest in self growth is more value than invest in stocks. No offense to stock market traders, or no offense to all the finance influencer or finance coach out here. I give respect to all of things, but this is what I believe. If when I invest more in my self growth, my mastermind coaching, this given me thousands of return which no other stocks can give it. Definitely. Is it making sense? Yes. How many of you believe that? Yes, it is. Okay, cool, great. Next is this I again learned from Blair, that mission first, community second, and me third. So that is what I live every single day. Thanks Siddharth also. I see him doing it, how mission driven person he is. Thanks to Sid's for giving me this opportunity uh, to learn from you and learn from his mentor. So this is something I learned from Blair. Okay, another lesson, that a business lesson I learned, that whatever you do, whether you build followers, all this will vanish like very small amount of time. So the best thing that will keep with you, that is the email list. There's a business lesson specifically for online business. You have to build email list. अगर आपको थोड़ा इन्वेस्ट करना पड़ रहा है कोई ईमेल मार्केटिंग टूल में, करो. डू नॉट कॉम्प्रोमाइज ऑन email marketing tool, because email is still relevant this time also. So email marketing given me a lot of big premium clients, so do not ignore that part. Okay, then again, somebody told me that if you want to sell more, you need to become a storyteller. So storytelling, still I'm in the learning phase, but this is one of the big lessons. So you need to tell the story behind whatever you are selling, whatever you are talking. If you're explaining any concept in your webinar, talk any story related to that. So that's how you will become a storyteller. So it's the practice that you need to work on. 23rd is transform yourself before you transform other. Okay. Sometimes we are definitely on a mission to help a lot of people, but sometimes we lack of building our own skill. So we need to first work on ourselves. Let's suppose taken health. I used literally 6 months back. I was literally very bad at taking care of my health. and that actually impacted a very bad way. So that's why, like, we have to transform ourselves as a person, health or business or any skills before we try to transform others. Okay, so that is another big lessons that I learned. 14th, sorry, 24th, people can copy your funnel, people can copy your course, anything, but people can't copy you, because people buy you first. So that's why you need to become a better version of yourself. And uh, and that's why people will buy you. That's why you need to also build who you are in the in your social media, rather than just talking about all those products that you sell. Okay, next is knowledge is literally lesser than the courage. Why I'm talking about? Let me just give you quick pointers. I have a knowledge. I have so much knowledge. But how many of you feel that you have a better knowledge than your competitor, or you better than knowledge than so many other marketer out there? So many people. How many of you have seen that in the market? They sell literally crappy products, cheap products, cheap not cheap products. Specifically, they don't have really value, but they're selling a lot. Okay, so what they have, the only thing is they have is courage. So just imagine, if you have a knowledge, just add courage to it to sell more, maybe go beyond your comfort zone, go to the edge of your comfort zone, like Robin Sharma says, right? So that you will be able to sell more. Most of us have so much of knowledge, but the problem is what? We lack courage to take that one step, launch your offer, ask people for money. These are the small things that we keep ourselves um like stopped. Okay, how many of you believe that this happens to many? It happened to me a lot of the time. That's completely fine, but I know, I realize this hard way, that we have to keep that courage. Thanks to some my team member also, sometimes they give me a lot of courage to me to go to my comfort zone and ask something. Okay, so great. That is the next is, okay, do mistake, don't repeat the same mistake, and do new mistake. Okay, it's cool. हमने बलबॉन moment. This is like when I learned this, okay, wow, this is cool. If you see, notice one thing, the all successful people, they have taken massive steps to do more mistakes. Okay, and if you see successful people, जो उनका life chart देखोगे ना, they have taken a lot of initiative, they have a lot of steps. So that's why they have a lot of failure. Imagine, those people are successful people, they have a lot of failure. Even today they also are getting failed. ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ जो लोग ग्राउंड लेवल पे है वो लोग फेलियर फेस कर रहे हैं, जो ऊपर लेवल पे हैं वो लोग भी फेलियर फेस कर रहे हैं. I know, because I'm part of mastermind where people make crores a month, still they have a failure. But the thing is, they do mistake, they learn from that mistake, they do new mistake. The more do new mistake that you will do, that's why you will grow fast. That's why I say, do your webinar for 52 weeks. You do 52 mistakes. That's why you will be able to understand that where exactly you are lacking out. So after 52 weeks, you'll be have a better presentation skills, better selling skills, because you put your sales pitch 52 times. So rather than perfecting your sales pitch without testing in the market, nothing will happen. You need to focus on go out, do mistake, again do mistake. So every time till today also I do mistake, I go back to my slides and change it something, improvise it. That is the main thing. 27 is, okay, learning but not doing equal to not knowing. मैं कितने भी ज्ञान दे दूं, even if you people join my community, join, I teach every single thing. Now I'm showing off every single morning, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. But still, if people don't act, I can't help them. If they don't act, it means it is equivalent to not knowing. Sometimes people comes, oh, I know it, but how much time that you have implemented it, tried and tested it, that is what matter most. this again, like every time that this is something I think learned from who is that person, the talks about leverage. And so impatience with action, patience with results. So are you impatient with actions? Ask this question to yourself. And definitely you have to patience with results. Naval Ravikant, yes. Thank you, Nirvay, for sharing it. 29th is impact is the key. This is the my like blood. Earlier, I used to talk about this impact over income, but last time I talked about this. But then I removed this part because again, sometimes I focus so much of an impact and I don't focus on income also, because it has to go both hand in hand. Then, but impact you need to focus. Why? Because if people don't get results, then there is आप कितने भी पैसे कमा लो, you will not make long term money. You will make money in short term, but you will fall definitely very fast. Okay, this is something recently I learned from Alex Hormoji, that you can get good enough at almost everything in just 24 hours. Sorry, 20 hours of focused effort. The problem is most people spend years dealing the first 1 hour, the first hour. Alex Hormoji. Complete bulb on moment for me. And when I see a lot of people in the online industry, they still wait, put that first hour to perfect that thing, untested product that we talked about, right? Last but not the least, who can guess the last one? Who is something that, who can guess the last one?
Lifelong learner.
Let's see who can guess.
Celebrate the birthday with your community.
Who is the last lesson? That is already talking about. The 4-letter word.
Many 4 letters
Yes,
come to my mind.
got this.
I've got it.
Care
Yes.
is the best marketing
Care.
strategy ever. If you
Right.
can do this, you'll definitely, you can win the market. Any marketing strategy will fall in front of this if you really care for your audience. Okay, so that is the big lessons from my side. If you want to take some snapshot, you guys can take. I'm just showcasing every lesson over here. And I'll also share the mind map, not a problem. It isn't. I'll share the mind map PDF also. But you can put it over here. Awesome. Great lessons. How many, like, a lot of lessons that you learned